Yo, what's going on guys, the accountant here, and in today's video it's similar to my others. Obviously there's going to be like game clips from that in the background, but today we're going to talk because there's a serious matter that's happened and it needs to be talked, it needs to be shared around, everything like that. It needs to be out there. So, as you lot know, last week it was my birthday, and obviously on my birthday, I'm 19, I'm also going to go out, and the night before, like literally this time last week at my birthday, the night before, so Thursday night to Friday in the morning, went out with my mates and my girlfriend around my area and that. Not surrounding, ain't having that. Went out for a night out like you do, and I'm not a big fan of nightclubs. Like I just prefer to sit in a pub and play pool and have a couple of drinks and a couple of pints. But some of my mates do love nightclubs as well, so we went to a few nightclubs and I weren't too bothered. But we went to this one nightclub called Code. I went to a few before and it was fine, but not my cup of tea. And then we went to this other pub, and then my mates, they got us to go to Code. So we went to Code, and then like 2 minutes later, me, my girlfriend and one of my other mates, I went with my girlfriend and four mates. Me and my girlfriend and one of my mates came home after like 2 minutes of being in Code. I didn't like it. Dancing's not for me, I'm not a dancer. No, not my cup of tea. But two of my mates love it. So they stayed. They didn't come home with us. But it ended up that one of them got spiked, and potentially the other person as well got spiked, which is not good at all. Later on in this video, there's going to be a clip as my mate, he was actually on the BBC. I'm just kidding away. He won a radio station. We'll say that he won a radio station, BBC Radio Sheffield. I'm just going to say it, talking about the matter because it needs to be heard. And I'll give you a quick debrief about it. So we left at around 2 o'clock. My two of my mates stayed there, and then about an hour later they got kicked out for no reason at all. They just got thrown out. Bouncers came in, chucked them both out, and then mate Brandon, you'll know his name anyway in the radio showing the talk, whatever it is. He got kicked out, and then he was spewing up. And then my mate Owen, he was trying to get a lift home but couldn't get one. And then what happened after that? And then so he's spewing up on the floor, and he were fully gone. He weren't Brandon, he weren't there according to my mate Owen and that. So paramedics came. Someone must have called paramedics because he were absolutely gone. But obviously when you get spiked, like some symptoms of it, you get aggressive and you're just not yourself. So he must have been aggressive towards some paramedics, but because the paramedics came, the other friend Owen, he left. He went home and got home safely, thank God. But my other mate Brandon, something must have happened, and then he ended up on a train all the way in Cleethorpes, and he were passed out. He were gone while on train. He can't remember a thing. He were absolutely gone. So he's on train. He wakes up at Cleethorpes, not knowing where he is. He wakes up, talks at conductor and is like, "Where are we? I need to be in Sheffield and that." Said, "Oh, we're in Cleethorpes." He's like, "No, we're not in Cleethorpes. Tell me the truth." And he's like, "No, we're in Cleethorpes." So he looks outside the window. He's in Cleethorpes, absolutely gone. So obviously, you have no clue what you're gonna do because you're stuck in Cleethorpes. And he's lost his phone as well, or his phone potentially has been stolen because of that past week after it all happened. After it happened, Brandon put on Facebook explaining everything, and it got like 2,000 shares and like 500 comments, his post, which is very good because it needs to be heard. But he woke up and everyone else was being commenting, "Oh, I've been spiked," or "I know someone that got spiked." Apparently people are getting spiked and their phones are going missing. So put two and two together, getting spiked and then people stealing your phones. So is in Cleethorpes without phone. The train conductor person comes and he says, "Hi, how are you? You look absolutely gone." The train conductor said to phone to his mum because Brandon remembered his mum's phone number, so the train conductor rang her, and he said to her, "I've never, all my years of working on trains, I've never seen someone as bad as Brandon," which is shocking. So obviously rang his mum up. They said, "We can get closest train we can get to is Doncaster." So she went to Don, he picked her up and that, and he cannot remember anything from like 3 o'clock till 11 o'clock in the morning when he woke up. from being asleep, which is very, very scary, not knowing what happened, because anything could happen and we'll never know, which is absolutely heartbreaking, because if anything serious happened between that, then it needs to get sorted. So yeah, it's just getting spiked. Obviously, spiking usually happens to women, and that's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. But it needs to be heard as well that it also happens to boys and men, and it can happen to anyone really. And it needs to be sorted, because it could have been any of us that got spiked, because we all went in there. Could have been anyone, probably multiple people that night as well got spiked in there, and it shouldn't be happening. But when we went into code, you have to pay to get in as well, which is absolutely a scam. Paid £5 each, so I paid 15 quid for me and my girlfriend and my mate. Went in, and they didn't even pat us down or anything to check if we had all in his pockets, or his wallets, and if you have a bag, they're not even going to check your bag, they're just going to let you in, which was very dodgy, which is obviously just encouraging people to go in there with drugs and getting into people, vulnerable people, when they're absolutely off the bed hammered. I mean, it just shouldn't be happening. There needs to be more done about it, and there's no, because it'll explain better what radio, but the radio station contacted the nightclub Code. Remember that name, Code? It needs to be gone. Contacted Code, and they give no comment. They don't want to talk about it. So there's something fishy going off there, because they're definitely on it. They're not patting anyone down when you're walking in. No, they're not doing anything. They're just, and it's rubbish, because I was petrified for Brandon when I woke up in the morning and I heard about this. I honestly could have cried. One of my best mates, and he got spiked and potentially could have died, because all could have happened to him. He could have got spiked, fell off into a river, or fell in the middle of the road and got ran over. Anything could have happened to him, and that's horrible to think about, and I don't want to ever think about that again. And I don't want it to happen to anyone else either, because it's rubbish. It just shouldn't be happening in today's world. It's too easy to get drugs, and it's too easy to spike people and stuff like that, and it just really shouldn't be happening. Code needs to do something about it. If not, this needs to be shut down, because a lot of people are getting spiked in Code as well, not just Sheffield in general. It's that one nightclub where it's happening, and it's horrible, and it just really shouldn't be happening. So this video is gonna play now after this, but please share this video around, get it out there in the world, because it genuinely needs to be heard, because this shouldn't be happening, and if it happened to anyone else, I'd be absolutely heartbroken, honestly, and I don't want it to happen again to anyone, or any of my mates again. But it's safe to say we won't be going to Sheffield for a very, very, very long time, and we'll never be going to Code. We're not giving them any more of us money. They don't deserve it. They don't do enough. Security's are rubbish, bouncers are rubbish. They even kicked Brandon and his mate Owen out for no reason. They just kicked him out because probably they felt like it, which is not right. But it really gets me. It really gets me, because my mate Brandon probably, well, he could have not been here right now. He could be dead, and that's the truth. And I don't want it to happen to anyone. So please share this video. Please get it around. Please get the word around. It needs to be heard, and something needs to be done. So I'm gonna play the radio station for you. Obviously he experienced it, so you'll hear better from him. Sorry if I blabbed on a bit, but I hated what happened, and I just don't want it to happen again. So please share this video. Please get it out there into the world, because it needs to be heard, and it needs to be stopped. So hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry it's a bit iffy and that, a bit touchy subjects as well, but it needed to be said, and it needs to be said to the world. So here's the radio station I'm going to be playing now, and I'll see you lot in the future. Goodbye.
And he joins me now. Brennan, talk me through what happened. You were out on Thursday, you were out for a friend's birthday. Tell me through the experience, what happened?
So we got into Sheffield, we were just sitting around like a few bars at first, and then we said we'd go to one of the clubs and celebrate his birthday there. At about 2 o'clock, my friend whose birthday was decided to go home, but one of my friends wanted to stay out. I stayed out with him.
Very honourable, you know. When did you know something wasn't right?
It was about 3:10 when I rang my mum, and then my mind had just gone blank.
Crikey. And it says here as well, like you said, you woke up on a train.
Yeah, my little brother rang me at about, I think it was 3:50, and when he rang me, apparently I'd been aggressive on the phone, which is a sign of being spiked. I just threw up and then the phone cut off. Apparently, I think it was like 5 o'clock. We were with some paramedics and they tried to treat me. Well, because when you're being spiked, one of your symptoms is aggression and like trying to do your own thing. I ended up at 9 o'clock in the morning waking up on a train in Cleethorpes.
I'm not being funny, darling. It don't matter how old you get. You're always someone's baby. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, your mum must have been going through a nightmare, especially knowing that you'd rang her.
Yeah, she was in absolute tears because usually I've always been able to get home. I grew up around the bars, so I've always watched my drink. My dad told me stories about him being spiked.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? This kind of thing has been going on for years. What is going to be done about it? You contacted South Yorkshire Police about the incident. What did they say?
And they said they couldn't do anything because they can't prove it. They can't prove it came from Code and they can't prove who's done it. All they did was put a block on my phone. My phone was stolen.
Have you had any contact with Code?
I went down to see them. I don't know if it was the day after it was on the Saturday I went down. And there was no one. It was just the cleaners who went early. And they said just to come down later on. My brother rang them. And we still haven't heard anything back from them.
You haven't heard anything at all? Well, we're hearing that this isn't an isolated incident. Last month, 19-year-old Neve Taylor from Sheffield says she was spiked at Code nightclub and she ended up in the Northern General Hospital. Sarah Scott, Neve's mum, posted photos and videos of her daughter on Facebook titled "Take a Long Hard Look. This is what happens when someone spikes your drinks." So, I mean, obviously, Brandon, for yourself, it was a horrific incident. How do you feel now? Are you still scared, or how do you feel about it?
I think the thing that scared me the most was because I've always took pride in being able to remember everything. Yeah. I've been acting for like 11 years now, and like, so my main thing is being able to remember absolutely everything. That's one thing I've been blessed with. It's like I've just had 6 hours of my life from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock just gone, and I can't remember a single thing that happened.
Yeah, absolutely. You're trying to sort of remember so hard as to what did happen or what could have happened, and thankfully, you know, you are all right. Could have been a hell of a lot worse. What are your parents like now? How do they feel? Send them loads of love from us, won't you?
Mum's trying to just find out everything. She's phoning around the places that are around there to CCTV. Just to get some idea what's happened. She phoned the paramedics and they got back to her and they've told her that they did see us around 5 o'clock in the morning. So that's given us some enlightenment that I was with paramedics around 5.
And was your friend with you at that point? Was your friend? Do you think your friend was spiked as well, or was it just you?
He said he was spiked. He has slight, vivid memories of what happened, but he was with me when the paramedics were there. Yeah.
What do you think clubs should be doing in order to prevent spiking incidents happening, Brandon? I mean, you're a young lad, you're only 18, you're only just sort of enjoying the throes of life. You really wouldn't think you'd be asked this question, but, you know, what do you think they should do?
Well, especially nightclubs, because that's where it happens the most. They should check everything. I went out a few weeks before I went to Vipers, and yeah, it's still going to happen, but the likelihood of it happening, more often is lower. They check all your stuff, like check your pockets, check your wallet. If you've got a bag with you, you check your bag. But Code, you don't get checked for anything. You just take your card out, pay, and then walk in.
So you think more needs to be done on searching on the way in, which is interesting. Well, thank you so much for coming on and having a chat with us. So hope you're okay. Please keep us up to date if you do hear anything. As a mum, not as a child your age, but I feel so much for your mum and dad, and it's scary times, but thank you for opening up about it, Brandon.
Oh, thank you. I just want to share the story and make sure everyone else is all right.
Brandon Mulkeen there talking about his spiking experience, which he alleges took place at Code nightclub. Just to reiterate, we have contacted Code for comment, and they have said they don't wish to talk to us at the moment.
Toby Foster.